Yeah. All right. We are live on YouTube. How's everyone doing today? How's it going, everybody? Welcome to episode number 1219. That's right, episode number 1219 of Navigating the Modern World with Eli. The Walking with Purpose live edition, live today from Red Morton Park. Again, time is of the essence, and it's cold. It's like 52 degrees. Got the gloves on. Today we're going to continue off of the live stream that I did earlier here on GNA2, Genuine Live Personal Development. Today's topic is the defendant is sneaky, but I know better. One more time, the topic today is the defendant is sneaky, but I know better. The defendant in my circuit civil case. It's his too. Our circuit civil case, but I filed the case. So it's technically my case, right? The defendant in my circuit civil case where I'm the plaintiff, and I am suing him for a bunch of wrongdoings that have transpired on this YouTube platform. I'm not going to get into all of that. If you're brand new, you're going to have to go back and watch some of the older streams. But anyway, I've made a decision here today. I haven't even told Don this. I just thought about this on the way to the walk. Hey, Tia, how are you doing? Put a one in the chat if you can hear me and see me clearly. Hello, babe. What's up, baby? Says respectfully, maturely, and professionally. She was here before I hit go live. Tia says, what's up, my friends? Hey, Tia. Tia says, one. So, I made an executive decision on my own without running it through my team. Forgive me, but I think they're going to like it anyway. So, and they'll tell me if they don't, but I'm sure they will. But I've made an executive decision, and I'm going to get to that in a little bit. I'm not going to announce it yet because I have a few comments that I'm going to paraphrase. I have a few comments that I'm going to paraphrase here regarding the defendant that just can't stop talking about me, can't stop making content on me, can't stop making community posts on me, right? He comments in the comment sections. He basically continues to, in many different ways, he continues to use my name, likeness, content, even under fair use. Some of the things he does could qualify for fair use, like the video clip he put out earlier today. Yeah, that's probably closer to actual fair use. It was only 3 minutes long. But he did it because he wanted to siphon more engagement, right? Because his audience is all about me. That's what they want. All they want to do is conglomerate on YouTube all day, every day, including during the holiday season, and talk about me, right? So I'm going to paraphrase these comments here, make a few comments, and then I'm going to share with you folks the decision I've made on how we're going to handle this and what we're going to do. This is going to be interesting. This is going to be very interesting, right? And this is the funny thing. I did a stream earlier. I went out with my lady. We ran some errands. It's cold as hell. I still got out of the house. I'm thinking of walking in the cold. I'm bundled up, actually, which is all good. But I'm walking, and I'm doing another stream. And these people, including the defendant, are just sitting on their tushies. Let's just call it a tushy. We're being nicer with the language lately, okay? They're just sitting on their tushies at home, playing on YouTube all day, every day, seeking validation from their YouTube audience. Because I guess they can't get it anywhere else. I don't know. They could if they wanted to. And here's the thing. Men shouldn't be even really seeking validation. That's not a masculine energy type of thing, right? We've talked about that before in the past. It's been a while. We'll get back to doing some more dating topics and relationship topics in 2026. But I've got some new plans. I've got some new plans that that are going to be coming in the new year, and you're going to want to stick around for that. And if you missed the stream from earlier here on GNA2, I made some major announcements. I'm not going to go over them here today unless somebody asks for a little more information, or if they want me to repeat something, I may briefly do it. But go check out that stream from earlier, right? So, yeah, give me a second. I'll be right back. All right. We are back live. We are back live. Can you folks hear me and see me? Put a 1 in the chat. We are back live. We are back live. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me and see me clearly. Yeah, the defendant was rebroadcasting me on YouTube. And I don't care. I'm going to say it doesn't matter because I got a new strategy on how we're going to handle this in the future. I'll share that in a little bit here. But yeah, I went to screen record about a minute of his stream. I took screenshots. He named his stream something like about the plaintiff or something, responding to me or something like that, right? Pretty comical. Lack of originality, copycatting me and many others. This guy's a big copycat. That's all he's ever been, is a copycat. And he's triggered as hell. He's triggered because I keep correcting the record in real time without using any of his copyrighted content and without even mentioning his name. And, you know, I mean, if he did that, there would be no problem. But the more and more he does these watch parties, the more evidence he's just giving me for my federal copyright case that's coming this April or May in 2026. And if I want to talk about that to my audience publicly in a cool, calm, and collected way, I can do that without any threats of saying, oh, you're intimidating me, or no, I'm not intimidating anyone. All I'm doing is correcting the record, and I'm going to keep correcting the record for as long as it takes. Now, this guy I mentioned earlier on my stream here on GNA2, this guy clipped a 3-minute section of the live stream he did last night that's still available on Rumble. The rebroadcast, right? Where he rebroadcasted my entire stream as it was happening live, right? And so, and he did that because he wanted to keep on farming engagement off my name, because he can't get engagement off that group at the same level as using my name and likeness. Right now, like I said earlier, that clip is probably more so considered fair use, but the bottom line is, what is the underlying message? Why is he doing it? I can still comment on that and give my opinion on why he's doing it, because he cannot get engagement any other way. Like, he is stuck on the Eli thing because that's what his group wants, because that's the group he created. And you're stuck. You're stuck in a loop with my name and likeness, right? And the bottom line is, the more you stay stuck on that, the more you're going to have to answer to lots of things when we go into both court cases. That's just the truth of the matter, right? Someone correct me if I'm wrong in the audience here, you know? But here's the thing. Underneath in that posting, there's a woman that commented. And remember, if you've been following me here for a while, there's a woman that acts in concert in Florida with the defendant, okay? And she's the one that's tried to intervene in the middle of our case as a non-party without filing the proper, leave of court and motion to intervene, right? And she also filed a fraudulent stalking order on me towards the end of December of 2023. Well, this year, at the beginning of 2025, she convinced, and I have proof of that, already filed it with the court in the circuit civil case between myself and the defendant, because him and this lady have been acting in concert. The lady he's acting in concert with convinced this other lady by the name of, let's just call her Pat. That's not her full name. We're just going to call her Pat, right? Convinced Pat to file a similar stalking injunction petition as the one that the other lady in Florida filed on me in December of 2023 that's been acting in concert with the defendant, right? So basically, what happened was she filed this stalking injunction, and it was written very similarly with the evidence that had nothing to do with her, right? And then when it came time to the hearing date, I was on Microsoft Teams at 6:30 a.m. in the morning. Was my lady Dawn as my witness because the hearing was 9:30 a.m. Eastern Florida, 6:30 a.m. our time here. We waited for a little over 2 hours for our case to be called. Put a 1 in the chat if you can still hear me. This is the bad reception area. Waited a little over 2 hours for our case to be called, and then this Pat lady failed to appear. And interestingly enough, the day before I got served, about a week and a half or so before that time, the other woman that's been acting in concert with the defendant shared on her community wall, "Here you go, Eli. Sheriffs be around to serve you soon," which I've also submitted to the court, right? So now, Pat, let's talk about you because you inserted yourself in the comments section underneath a, let's just call it a fair use video clip that the defendant used. Let's just give him this one that he properly did this one, more so fair use than other stuff, right? Right? But we all know he can't get engagement unless he uses my name and likeness, right? So I'm going to paraphrase what you said here, Pat. We're going to paraphrase what you said, right? Whoops, sorry. Oh, Jesus. I'm having a hard time opening this paper here. Sorry, can you folks hear me? Put a 1 in the chat. So she's saying that finally I said the truth. And she's saying that I've been leading people to believe this was more than a clown court case. And she said I've done this all just to make a movie, just like my make-believe life. She says I live in a fantasy world. Okay. In lieu of punitive damages, you are now offered royalties. Let me ask you something, Pat. You used to be a part of our group. You actually made Tia aware of our group when you were a part of our group, and you were being very nice, and you wanted to be out of the drama, right? And then all of a sudden, you claimed that I removed you, which I never did. It was a YouTube glitch. You blamed me for it. You were led to leave by someone that I banned you, and they knew I never banned you. And they pushed you to believe that I banned you so that way you could switch sides and flip over to the defendant's side where you're at right now. Let's just call that the Legion. Even though he doesn't call it anymore, they've been known as the Legion, right? Okay. So you went over there and I did nothing to you, right? You were convinced I did something to you and I did nothing to you. I'd like for you to publicly state, ma'am, what did I do to you? I did nothing to you. I'm correcting the record because you're just a bored and lonely person. That's all. You're a bored, lonely, and miserable person, in my opinion, right? And you like to spend your time, I like to call it, you like to waste your time on YouTube picking on people that are happy like myself and that are forward thinking and positive thinkers, right? And I'm not in the drama. All I'm doing is correcting the record regarding a bunch of misfits that there's going to be a whole lot more coming. There's going to be a whole lot more coming, right? And it's well within my legal rights to do so, right? So here's the thing, Pat. I don't have any problems with you. I don't hate you. I don't hate anyone. But you continue to insert yourself and say negative things about me. And if you're going to say negative things about me, even in the comment sections of YouTube videos, I'm going to respond to it every single time. And then the defendant, below that, I'm going to paraphrase. The defendant below that, let me see. Let me get under the light here because it's starting to get a little dark. I was trying to get out here sooner, but I just couldn't. He's calling me, he's saying that, in other words, I'm like a psychotic, delusional thinker, or that's the way I think. And he's saying that I'm the most psychotic, delusional thinker he's ever seen on this platform. And he's saying that if it wasn't funny, it would be scary, because he's saying that I need professional help. And then he's saying the good news is that he messes up his own case. This is in other words. And that it proves like an ulterior motive. Sir, this is the bottom line. You have no content without me. I'm going to keep proving it, because I'm going to continue to correct the record regarding you and your group every single day until you folks stop talking about me, whether it's in the comment sections of videos, the comment sections of postings, whether it's a community post or multiple community postings or live streams. I'm going to do correcting the record response videos every single day, maybe twice a day. I'm going to correct the record about you, defendant, about all the people in your group, and I'm going to continue to do it, right? And guess what? Here's what we're going to call it. We're going to start a brand new series here at the GNA. Hey, ODN. We're going to start a brand new series here at the GNA. And you know what we're going to call it? And there's nothing he can do about it, because it's not trademarked, and you can't even trademark a basic name. We're going to call it The Legion, a YouTube drama group case study. One more time. We're going to call it The Legion, a YouTube drama group case study. You, defendant, and your entire group are now officially the case study of the GNA here. We have the right to do that. You folks are, in our opinion, a bit bizarre and a bit off. And there's a lot to always talk about. You guys always give us lots to talk about, lots to respond to, lots to correct, right? It never ends. It's like an endless amount of content. So we're going to start to focus on it and hone in on it, right? And we're going to continue to do it every day, as long as they keep talking about us in ways where we need to correct the record. All right, we are back live. Put a 1 in the chat, please. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me and see me clearly. Put a 1 in the chat. Thank you. Yeah, Mr. Defendant, you came back on YouTube again. And Mr. Defendant, whether I strike you or not is my business. You can try to figure out whether I'm going to do it or not. I will tell you this, though, that every time you're on YouTube, and that's Mr. Softy. All right, Mr. Softy just turned around there. Okay. Every time you start something new, all I'm going to do is screenshot it, screen record a few minutes of it, showing your chat, showing the name of the title, showing that you're live, showing the amount of viewers you have in there, and I'll be submitting that in my complaint to the Middle District of Florida Federal Copyright Court. And I don't know if you heard earlier today, sir, but I filed 3 copyright certificates on my previous 3 streams before the stream I did earlier today. They are within the first 90 days, and that means I can sue for statutory damages. Those are not lost revenue. That's based on the statute. You cannot subpoena my financials over that. And so we'll be suing for statutory damages, and we'll also be suing for injunctive relief. And here's the thing. You can spin it any way you want to your audience right now. But we're going to go to court, and we're going to find out. And as part of my First Amendment freedom of speech, I can talk about whatever I do. If I want to talk about suing someone, including you, I can talk about it. I'm not defaming you. I'm not harassing you. And you're the one that continues to rebroadcast, to put out clips, to comment all over in the comment section. You're the one that continues to antagonize this, and then you try to flip it on me and say, I'm the one that keeps it going. No, you've never stopped. Even when you were not restreaming me, you were talking about the court case. You were saying about January 9th. You basically were ridiculing me, saying I didn't know what I was doing. And it's all over on January 9th. And then guess what? After the JA got the response from the court, a.k.a. Judge Stacy, and ruled exactly regarding the procedure that I was saying all along, then you just quietly walked away and never said that you were wrong. How about you admit that you're wrong when you're wrong, sir? Because you don't want to look bad in front of your audience, right? But here's the thing. Come the first of the new year, the new case study of the Legion, a YouTube drama group case study, perfectly legal. Let me tell you something. There are many legions out there. The phrase "the Legion" itself cannot be copyrighted or trademarked. Plus, you were one type of a legion, right? But you were not the Legion, right? You were the L Legion, right? So here's the thing. I will cover all my ducks in a row, and I will make you folks my case study, and I will analyze your behavior on social media and give my opinions about your behavior and your actions, right? I can give my opinions about that because I'm here to help people better their lives through personal development. That's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. So, again, don't come here and tell me, like you made in your community posting, don't come here and try to tell me. Give me a second here. Don't try to tell me that, oh, you hadn't talked about me or restreamed me for a long time. You are always doing something to keep my name and likeness in your mouth and in your group's mouths, because that's what your audience wants. Whether you're talking about the case, whether you're on someone else's live chat talking smack about the judge and the judicial assistant, and then spreading around this "I believe you embezzled" parody video that you're trying to shield yourself, accusing me of embezzlement and saying that you believe it because you said you heard it from a former friend of mine. And listen, I don't have any problems with anyone, and I don't even want to have any problems with her. But she knows it, and you know it, sir, that I never told her that, and she knows I never told her that. And here's the thing, sir, she publicly apologized for it and said it was fake instigated drama. A few years ago, I had that screenshot somewhere. But she knows that. You know that. You're trying to live off a prayer, sir. You're trying to live off a prayer, sir. You're trying to relinquish yourself from accountability of your defamation when you know I never told her that. She knows I never told her that. I never did anything like that. And here's the thing. I will say this again to correct the record. I will say this again to correct the record. If I have to subpoena the former owner of that company, her first name is Paula. You folks know her. I will subpoena Paula or get a statement from her that never happened. Heck, I can even get that statement from my brother who was working there. He'll give me a statement. Do you folks not realize how easy it will be for me to debunk that? Why continue to carry on a lie? Why continue to make things up? Because you can't be real with your people and keep them around? And no, I'm not triggered. This is the truth of the matter. You cannot be real and honest with your audience about anything or anyone because they just don't want to listen otherwise. They don't. They just don't. That whole embezzlement story was made up. I never said it. I will say it under oath. I will subpoena every single person that worked in that business from management to employees that all know me, and they will either sign an affidavit or they will show up and testify. I think it's time for you to cut out that story because I will bring those people to court. And what are you going to do at that point when the owner of the company says, Elias never did this? Elias was a good guy. He's a good guy. I don't know, some car alarm is going off right now. I don't care if you think I'm triggered. I'm passionate. This is how I talk. If you don't like it, tough luck. But you like it because you continue to use me as your content, which again, it's going to be used against you in federal copyright court. It doesn't matter if I'm talking about you. I'm not using your content. You can talk about me. The problem is not you talking about me. The problem is the amount of my content you're using. And that's why we're going to court. In the meantime, like I said, if you're going to continue to try to siphon views or engagement from your audience using my name and likeness in any way, shape, or form, whether it's community postings and comments in community postings or doing small clips on different channels, farming engagement with your current Eli hate audience in the comments section of your pre-recorded videos, doing it during the live streams, making $600+ and bragging about it, do you not think that's not going to go to the federal court judge? I mean, honestly, are you thinking about this coherently in any way, shape, or form? Like honestly, this is comical, right? But here's the thing. I'm not going to sit here and be quiet until April or May when this is filed, because if I sit here and allow you to continue destroying my name and likeness and siphoning my views and all that without standing up for myself, then I would be done. And I'm not going to allow you to finish me on this platform. You will not finish me on this platform. I will defend myself every single day until you stop. I will talk about every little thing that you do respectfully and professionally. I will talk about everything that your audience does respectfully and professionally. I'll correct the record, and I'll do it every single day, all day, every day. I'll do it at 3 a.m. I'll do it at 9 a.m. I'll do it at 3 p.m., 6 p.m. I will do it, and you can follow me everywhere. You can rebroadcast me every single time. And every time you do it, you better keep that evidence up at least on Rumble so I can download it. If not, at that point, then I'm going to request production of evidence at that point. And if you don't do that, then I'm going to get a court order to have you give it to me. So here's the thing. The bottom line is enjoy it. And here's the thing: I'm not threatening you. I'm just sharing what's going on, and I have the right to stand up for myself and defend myself. Okay? Don't sit here and say I'm threatening you when I'm not. I don't threaten anyone. I speak the facts. I stand up for what's right. I correct the record. I correct the record. You will be held accountable. And I have the right to say that. And you're going to tell the judge, oh, Eli on a YouTube live stream panel that I was running a watch party on, siphoning his viewers and siphoning engagements, donations and engagement from him. Really, you're going to tell that to the judge, right? You're going to tell that to the judge, right? You can tell the judge whatever you want. The judge doesn't care about the YouTube drama and all that. The judge cares about what's right and what's wrong. The judge cares about who's being violated or not. And there's a clean separation between you and I. There always has been, and there always will be. So, again, if you want to keep this going every single day, then we're going to keep it going. The more you folks keep talking about, oh, I've never met someone that's ruined this court case. Ruined my court case because I'm doing my YouTube videos. I'm standing up for the piss poor behavior that you're doing that I practically sued you for. Are you kidding me? Don't pee on my leg and tell me it's raining, man. Don't. Really don't. Right? Really don't. Right? Eventually it'll all be handled. Eventually it will all be handled between the circuit civil case and the federal copyright case. But the bottom line is that's not right now. So right now he wants to take advantage of the downtime, right? Where he can supposedly do whatever he wants. The thing he doesn't realize is that I'm just going to keep on preserving the evidence and put it all together. And when the time comes, it's going to be willful infringement, sir. It's going to be $150,000 for each one of those videos I registered, sir. Willful infringement. Because if you keep doing this every single day, I'm going to keep preserving the evidence. And I have the right to state that publicly if I want. What's the big deal? What's the big deal? You talk about everything publicly, but apparently I'm not allowed to talk about anything publicly, but you can talk about everything publicly, right? Starting January 1st, the Legion, a YouTube drama group case study. And we're going to do this across multiple channels. ODN, I'm sure you're okay with that. GLM, I'm sure you're okay with that. ODN and GLM, if you're here, let me know what are your thoughts about that. Because the Legion, which is what we're going to refer to, even though that's not the actual name of the group, okay? It's just a basic name. Anything can be a Legion. Yeah, but what I'm saying is this, is that starting on January 1st, starting in the new year, I think it's time we all join forces and we start to do a really professional level case study on this group and group of people. And I think it's going to be very interesting. And this is the information that I'm going to be taking to eventually make the documentary. The documentary will all be done legally. It'll be done under fair use, actual fair use. And because because the defendant is a public figure. Um, like you call me a public figure, right, sir? Here's the thing, sir. I'm not suing you for talking about me, right? I'm suing you for defaming me and for violating my copyright. That's it. And malicious prosecution and abusive process in the previous case where you try to get a stalking injunction on me. And intentional infliction of emotional distress that has caused me a lot of that, right? So here's the thing. I'm not violating your freedom of speech, and I don't care if you talk about me. I don't care if you make a documentary on me. As long as you don't violate my copyright. You want to do it under fair use? Then do it under fair use. That's how I'm going to do it. And guess what, sir? There's nothing you can do about that because it's fair use, and I have the right to document my life. I have the right to document my life that you've tried to infiltrate for the last 6+ years. Right? So that's what we're going to do. And we're going to monetize it. And we're going to not have it on YouTube. It'll be like a premium feature at some point. And if I see you getting a copy of it and distributing it publicly on YouTube, then I will sue you for willful copyright infringement on that as well. I'm going to keep suing you until you stop. Pro se. In federal district court and in the circuit civil case. And that is no joke. You can joke about it all you want till the cows come home. It doesn't matter. I'm going to hold you accountable. I'm going to publicly state I'm going to hold you accountable. And it doesn't matter what you say because it's all protected speech. This guy likes to threaten people for the same things he does. The same things that he does. When people call him out on that, then he threatens them, right? He threatens them and then he tries to, file exhibits into the court case out of emotion. What I forgot to mention on my earlier stream today, I'll mention it right now. You were talking about yesterday about the notice of filing. The notice of hearing that you filed. You had filed it properly in the past, sir. You just got lazy and frustrated. You didn't do it right. You didn't put the docket context that we need to be prepared to hang around until at least 4:30 Eastern. You didn't even label the actual motions on there. You just put available, motions or whatever. You didn't even put the date in your you put in the caption your name up top and my name bottom. You flip that. You put petitioner defendant and your name, and then you put respondent plaintiff below. That was a huge procedural error. You tried to dumb that down and play that down on your stream last night because you made a mistake because you're probably so triggered. Right? I mean, wow. And, I just said, hey, let me correct this before the judicial assistant makes us correct it because that's happened before. Once I'm taught something, I know how to repeat it properly. So I had my template all ready to go. From the last time I had to file a notice of hearing that you messed up. So I was ready. I filed it, took care of it for the both of us. You should say thank you very much. Or I'll just say you're welcome. You should say thank you, but you're not going to. Right? You're making lots of mistakes in the court and on YouTube. Redwood City Police is over here, which is good. You're making lots of mistakes with court filings and on YouTube. Why? Because you're triggered, because you're upset, because you started to lose engagement. You tried other things. And even if you're getting the views, you're not making the money. You made the money off my name and likeness. You actually gave me all the evidence, ripe and ready for federal copyright court. You put it on your community wall. They're on your streams that I have. You showed the donations there. There's enough proof. You're taunting on your community wall. Do you honestly think you have a fair use case? You're going to assert fair use, sir, and you're going to massively lose. No doubt about it. I'm that confident right now. I haven't even filed the case yet. I got to wait for my registered certificates to come back. But you're going to lose, sir. You're going to assert fair use using 80, 90% of my 1+ hour original on a watch party, inciting donations, and on multiple streams doing that. I filed 3 copyrights where you did that. And then you're going to give me a lot more like tonight as more supporting evidence, even without a copyright certificate. It's going to more and more and more and more prove your willful infringement, sir. Willful infringement. Statutory damages up to $150,000 per copyright certificate. I have 3 of them that I'll be filing in this case. That's $450,000. Now here's the thing. I don't care about the money. What I care about is doing the right thing and the right thing happening, right? But I will do whatever I have to do and can do to protect my rights from you. That just has a reckless disregard for the truth and a reckless disregard for the law. You do. You have a reckless disregard for the truth and the law, and it's obvious. And I'm going to hold you accountable to it. And I can say that publicly. It's my freedom of speech. And there's not a damn thing you can do about it. Yeah, GLM, I'm not going to talk about her. You can talk about her all you want. I don't want to talk about her. I'm not in the mood to talk about her right now. I have nothing to say about her. We can talk about her on your channel. You will pass that with flying colors. They will be in awe of what you speak on. Give me a second. I'll be right back. All right, we are back live. We are back live. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me clearly and see me clearly. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me clearly and see me clearly. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me clearly and see me clearly, please. Thank you, babe. Respectfully, maturely, professionally. I had to go and take care of something real quick, so I'm sorry about the delay. But while I was taking care of that, I was listening to what the defendant was saying. And here's the thing, dude. That woman tried to steal my business. You know that was wrong. You said that was wrong. You either correct the record publicly right now, or I will go live later tonight on Rumble, and I will play that clip under fair use. And you can try to strike me on Rumble. I don't care. You correct the record right now publicly, or I will correct it with you, or I will correct it for you with the actual clip that you stated what she's doing is wrong. Now you're all of a sudden best buds, right? So you sign off on her and that Coach J guy, basically because I didn't realize I needed a business license. She filed for a business license here in Redwood City, then filed for an LLC and incorporated here in California, then basically sued me here in San Mateo County, all as a YouTube troll. You said it yourself. You want to correct the record publicly, or I will embarrass the living you-know-what out of you, and I'll do it on Rumble tonight. You correct the record for once. Be honest with you and your audience, and you wonder where this comes from. You know exactly where it comes from. You just want to monetize the outrage. I am outraged at her piss poor behavior and your piss poor behavior. It's not right. That's why we're in court. Then she tried to get a fraudulent stalking order on me. Then she incited Pat to do the same stalking order in April of this year. Then she incited you to do it. Both her and Pat failed to appear. You showed up, and 20 minutes after you showed up, You couldn't convince Judge Bowie. She cut you off and said that the case is dismissed for insufficient evidence. And then you wonder why? Give me a break. Don't pee on my leg and tell me it's raining. Seriously, don't pee on my leg and tell me it's raining. It's a figure of speech. You correct the record, or I will correct the record for you publicly on Rumble. And I will do it properly under fair use. Properly, small excerpts. I won't do it here because you'll still strike it, and I'll file my counter notification, right? But then I don't want to have that strike here. You will just do it even though it's fair use. I will correct the record tonight. I got all the clips. I got every clip. You think you guys have clips? I have all the clips, and I'll whip them out right now and correct you all one by one and embarrass the shit out of all of you. Maybe you folks don't care. Maybe you don't care. But if you want to be real and honest with your audience, maybe you should play them the clip of that Florida woman you're wondering why I'm not that happy with. What kind of a question is that? Oh man, that car is bumping. Give me a break. Give me a break. Do the right thing or I'll do the right thing for you. I'll go to Rumble and I will do a fair use small excerpt thing. I'll take small clips from any moment that you say the opposite of what's true or wonder why. Oh, he wonders why I'm not that thrilled with that Florida lady. Did you even have to ask that? Or do you just want more outrage? Do you want to try to... You're not triggering me, but I am outraged at the shitty behavior. I am outraged by it. It's ridiculous. You guys all need to grow up, man. You all need to grow up and move on from this. That's why we're in court. That's why I filed those 3 copyrights. And enjoy it while you can, because it's not going to last long. Trust me on that. And any court of law would actually understand why I'm reacting to this, trying to save my face on this platform that you have tried to tarnish for years, purposefully for your content. This guy is one of the most entitled, spoiled people I've ever met. Just unbelievably entitled. Like, honestly. Like, no accountability. Reckless disregard for reality, the truth, for the law, etc. Reckless disregard for a lot of things. Like, I've just never met someone who is just so inconsiderate to most people's feelings, wants, and needs, unless people are directly benefiting him primarily monetarily. Like, he doesn't care, in my opinion. That's what it all boils down to. You think all of you over there, you think the guy cares about you, or is it just a place where you will go where anyone does these restreams, right? Well, he's doing it now, and he's going to keep doing it and keep giving me evidence. But once we get to court, it's going to be all over. And then if he keeps on pushing the boundaries, at that point he's going to be held accountable by violating a protective order. I mean, hey, look, I can't control what he does or what other people do. I can tell people to stop. I can assert my rights. I can send a cease and desist, and they can keep going. But I can keep on preserving the evidence. And there will be a time and a place where he's going to have to explain himself. There's going to be that time and place, sir, where you're going to have to explain yourself. Do you folks, let me know what you folks think in the chat here. There's going to be a time and place when he's going to have to explain himself to a federal judge and a circuit civil state judge. Judge Stacy in our civil case and whoever we get in the federal court system for copyright. Do you realize you're going to have to face a judge and myself in a hearing, a legal hearing, where your YouTube shenanigans are not going to work? They're not. But are you the kind of guy that's going to be writing it out until you're held accountable? Is that how you work? You don't de-escalate. You keep on escalating when you're already in legal deep shit. You are. I don't get it. I've never met anyone who's been sued in a major civil case and they continue to escalate and amp things up. They don't stop. It doesn't make any sense at all. He knows his goose is cooked in a court of law. He's just trying to pretend like he doesn't care. You're right. He sounds shook because he knows he's going to lose in copyright. Oh, of course. He knows he's substantially using a ton of my copyrighted. He was hoping I didn't sue him in copyright court, right? And you know what, Odian? I realized you were right all along. You were right all along. This is not only a circuit civil case, this is also a copyright case. Because the bottom line is, you know, even if he stops defaming me, like for the time being, he stopped defaming me, now he's back to infringing my copyright. So if he's not violating me one way, he's violating me another way. But the thing is, copyright's completely separate. You cannot adjudicate that in the state court system. It's only in the federal court system. And you go to the Copyright Claims Board, you know, he's going to opt out. So we're going to go to the court where he can't opt out, and we're setting ourselves up for that, right? It's all good in the hood, right? In the meantime, he's going to keep rebroadcasting. He's going to keep on trashing. He's going to keep on trying to justify, oh, why are you so mad at that woman? Come on, man. You weren't born yesterday. You want someone coming after your business over a technicality? I never did one thing to that woman. I never did one thing to her. That Coach J guy got involved with her because she liked him at that time, in my opinion. She basically listened to him because he tried. When I used to call my channel A Grip on Life, he tried to register that, and he did as a prank. So he had her do the same thing. And then I reported her channel for impersonation because I've had the real GNA channel since 2015. And her channel went down, and then she sued me for that. And because I didn't want to take any chances with the business license thing, even though I had a strong case and lots of evidence, I settled the case. She was nice to me for a while, and then she started right back up, right? Because she saw value in the Eli audience that you had, right? And quite frankly, sir, if anything, you should be upset. You were upset at her because you accused her of stealing your audience. Now, would you like to admit that to your audience on the restream? Or shall I pull out that clip as well, sir? I'll tell you what, sir. I will pull out all these clips coming from your words. And I'll do it on Rumble. I'll do it on BitChute. I'll do it under fair use. And it will be short, small excerpts. I'll do it the right way and correct the record. Or you can just admit the truth before you're embarrassed. So, you know what? It's all good. You want to come at me? You want to call me out on my shit? You want to call me out on everything? You've done that. I'm calling you out now to say the truth for once. And if not, I'm going to correct the truth with receipts. We're going to keep going every day. I'm 52 years old. I'm 52 years old, and I'm going to keep going every day until you stop, until you do the right thing. I have the right to defend myself. I'm going to keep doing that. I'm going to keep correcting the record. It seems like Jesus Christ. It seems like that's what you want. It seems like you want the back and forth, but you're trying to frame it back on me, because that's what you do. You always flip everything back to the other person, right? When the truth of the matter is, you can't live on YouTube without my back and forth. So you try to flip it back on me when you're the one inciting this whole thing. And if you're not doing it on a live stream, you're doing it in the comment sections, you're doing it on community postings, you've done other streams where you've ridiculed my court filings and all that, and stuff like that. You've been talking about me all day, every day, one way or another. Just because you haven't used my content in a while doesn't mean you still haven't gotten my name out of your mouth. You still, well, that's that bump over there. I forget about that every time. You still talk about me one way or another. You still try to siphon engagement off my name, likeness, one way or another. It's never stopped. Just because you haven't used my content doesn't mean you've stopped. I watch everything you do. I record everything you do. I save and preserve everything you do. Not for the wrong reasons like you want to accuse me of, because I'm going to show it in court as proof of ongoing targeted harassment, ongoing smear campaign, ongoing willful copyright infringement. Do you realize how far you push this? And I'm going to, like I said, I'm a pro se representative. I'm going to be like an attorney. And you think right now that this is good? Wait till you see me in court. Because I'm going to be like an attorney in court. Even though I'm not a real attorney, I'm representing myself. I'm acting as my own attorney, and so are you. Right? You're going to have to answer my questions in court. Just wait till you see it. I'll be cool, calm, and collected, but I'll get my point across. When that day in court comes, like that first hearing in February, the first one with the spoliation of evidence garbage you filed, I'm telling you right now, you're going to look like a fool in that case. And you can tell Judge Stacy I said that. It doesn't matter. Because I tried to give you the evidence. And you yourself said and contradicted yourself on your stream the other day. Well, I'll leave it up on Rumble, so like you said, I'll get you the evidence. Well, how come then? Why did you file spoliation on me? Because it was the best YouTube optics move at that point, sir. YouTube optic-wise, you wanted to look like you're the big player. Look, we got this hearing in February. We got the January 9th. Now we got one in February. If the case survives, I'm filing all these hearings. They're my hearings, not Elias. Is that what it is? You don't think it's obvious, man? You're an optics guy. You always have to do things to try to make yourself look and feel superior than others, man. That is a horrible complex to have. It is. Like, I don't have that complex. No one over here has that complex. It's serious, man. You always feel the need to be superior to everyone else, man. And that's not normal, man. That's not. And you behave that way in court. You behave that way. You behaved that way in the Judge the stalking case. And she wasn't buying. She wasn't buying your story, man. You flipped out in court. You were so nervous and distraught and angry and so desperate to get a stalking order on me. You tried to silence me. You tried to silence me. You tried to silence me there. And now you're accusing me of trying to silence you for asserting my rights to protect myself from your garbage and nonsense I've been dealing with for 6+ years? Give me a break. Give me a break. The Judge Bowie wasn't buying it. Judge Stacy won't buy it. The copyright judge won't buy it. You can quote me on that. Because nothing matters out here on YouTube in the court of law. What matters is who's violated who. That's the bottom line. You can send them all this stuff. There's nothing wrong with what I'm saying. It'll be a waste of time. They're going to say, Mr. You know what? I'm not going to say your last name because you probably flagged me for that, right? They're going to say, we don't need to hear about the YouTube stuff. Let's just stick to the facts, right? Unless the YouTube stuff is part of the facts, we don't need to hear about the YouTube drama. They don't want to hear about the YouTube drama. This is going to be irrelevant in the court. This is irrelevant garbage, waste of time. This is all about YouTube optics, right? And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm trying to preserve my optics that you've been ruining every day. This is irrelevant to any court case. They don't care about this. It's a waste of time. But you care about it because you're trying to siphon money off my name and likeness, right? And views and engagement and all that, right? And I care about it because I'm trying to reverse the optics that you're siphoning from me before we hit the court cases, which are not going to happen until next year. So I'm not going to let you have this window of opportunity until we hit the courtroom in both court cases. I'm going to defend myself every damn day. I'm going to defend myself every single day. Every single thing that you or anyone in your group says about me will be logged, will be preserved. I have the right to do that. If you're going to talk about me wherever you are, I have the right to preserve that. Don't accuse me of being creepy or anything, because if I hear you do that, then that'll be used against you too, because all I'm doing is protecting myself. So don't sit there and call me something creepy or anything, because I'm not. And if I see anyone in your group doing that, then you know I'm going to use that against you. We are at 62 minutes. Good night, GLM. Much love. Good night, GLM. Thank you for being here. Yeah, GLM, I'm sorry. A lot of the things that you're saying, I can't say. But I understand. You want to get it out? No problem. If you say things in a lighter tone, then I can read them. But I really hope things turn around, GLM, regarding your situation. I really hope they do. People are getting ready for the 6:30 Christmas show. They'll be starting in about 15 minutes from now. What time is it right now? Is it 15 past the hour? It's like 6:10, 6:15 Pacific. The fact that that guy can't de-escalate. 6:16. Thank you, Tia. ODN says the defendant has some sort of cognitive blockage. He doesn't understand that this is a one-way road that he keeps clogging. He thinks that this is a back and forth between you and him when it's just him. This is not a back and forth. This is me correcting the record that this guy continues to tarnish every day until we're able to get in court and hold him accountable. So this is not a back and forth, defendant. I'm putting this on the record here. This has never been a back and forth for me. But I'm not going to sit here and let you ruin my reputation on YouTube with the crappy shenanigans you do between you and the other people in your group. I'm going to hold all of you accountable in any way that I can within the legal limits of the law on the platform, with the platform enforcement tools, guidelines, terms of service, and within the legal limits of the court law. So that's fine. You do what you got to do. I'm going to do what I got to do. This is not a back and forth. And you know what? If you want to try to paint that to Judge Stacy and the copyright judge because you have no other case, well, Your Honor, he's been going back and forth with me, so how can this be copyright infringement? Because you used 90% of my content in every one of your streams. Like the majority of your streams are my content in real time. siphoning engagement, fucking, taking, commercial monetization. You can't do that. Go look at fair use law. You're going to lose your fair use case. You can sit there and spin it any way you want to your audience. You got to understand, I have 3 copyright certificates coming that were filed between yesterday and today. And the content was just done over the last 3 days. Well within the 90-day window to qualify for statutory damages. Do you understand that you're going to be sued for statutory damages? I don't have to prove loss of income. This is based on the statute. You can ask your good old friend in Florida, and she can go and freak out on her community wall later and try to make something up that's not true, but she knows what I'm talking about, right? You don't even realize what this could cost you. And me saying that is not going to cost me the case. You think because I stand up for myself regarding your garbage that you're affecting me out here optically. You're trying to say me standing up for myself is going to ruin my case? No, it's not. And then how many soccer accounts are you on, sir? How many soccer accounts are you on? Now, I'm not going to accuse you of anything, but I know you have some socks. And it's really weird to see these sock accounts that continue to say the same thing. They sound a lot like you. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. I'm not accusing you, but what I'm saying is that it's just bizarre. It's bizarre. Bro, he's super weird. He feels entitled to your content. He doesn't understand the way the world works. Well, here's the thing, dude. He'll understand when he gets sued for willful statutory copyright infringement. Like, he doesn't understand. He doesn't get it. He doesn't get it that the more and more he does now, the more it's going to cost him in the future. And me saying that, even if he tells a judge that, what's the big deal? This is my freedom of speech. I'm talking about it. I'm going to do it. I'm not threatening anything. I'm making a promise that you're violating my copyright. You're going to court. Don't threaten me and tell me, oh, I'm gonna send more exhibits to Judge Stacy and the JA and same with the copyright judge. Don't threaten me. Don't pee on my leg and tell me it's raining. No more threats from you folks. I don't buy them. Knock it off. Knock off the threats. I don't buy them. File whatever you want to file. The judges will see the difference in contrast between your behavior and your filings and my behavior and my filings. And me being passionate here on YouTube, standing up for myself, will be understood by most judges. They'll hear what you're saying on your end, and they can hear me. Yeah, I'm passionate, but I'm being real. I'm standing up for what's right. I'm standing up for what's right. And the wrong thing you're doing right now in real time. You want to know something, sir? I'll tell you this, defendant. I'll tell you this. I really wonder what your parents think about your behavior. Are your parents ashamed of your behavior? Because I'll tell you this. If I was your dad and Dawn was your mom, which that would never happen. But if we were, we would be ashamed of your behavior, man. I wonder what you put your poor parents through, sir. I wonder what you put your poor parents through over the years, including right now, currently. Right? Like, it makes me wonder what his own mom and dad think about this guy. And then, there was somebody there that was going to witness, we're not going to mention who it was, that saw him in the Seminole County Courthouse at the Stockton Injunction. He stormed out after Judge Bowie dismissed his case for insufficient evidence, and he said, "Can I have my binder back?" And he stormed out and left his disabled mother in the dust. And I didn't know, but I guess his mother is disabled. That is true. So he left his parents in the dust, ran out to the parking lot. And then I was told his parents caught up to him, and they went home. And 1 hour later, he was back on YouTube crying about the case. And then later that afternoon, he was back to rebroadcasting my walk. I mean, what a story, right? What a story for a documentary. What a story for the circuit court judge, Judge Stacy, and the future copyright court judge. You are all over the place, man. You are a bizarre individual all over the place. You like you're just spiraling any which way possible. Like I've just never seen such bizarre behavior. I've never, ever, ever, ever seen such bizarre behavior. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. So I want you to answer a question, sir. Let's see if you'll answer this question publicly. Okay? If I get an injunction on you in the circuit court, and then I get an injunction on you in the copyright court, are you going to abide by it? Now, let me make it clear. Those injunctions, they're not gag orders. They limit you to use fair use in the way it was meant to be used, small excerpts. Will you continue to rebroadcast? You'll probably take the gig underground, right? Or will you follow a court order? So let me ask you this publicly right here on YouTube. Will you follow a court order, or will you disobey a court order? Because according to what you said, I believe it was yesterday, you said that it doesn't matter what happens in court. Like, even if you're ordered to do it, you're not going to stop, or something like that. I can't remember your exact words, but you were implying that even if a court order is granted against you, that you're not going to abide by it. That's just going to get you right back in court. It's going to get you fined more, and possibly get you in prison at that point for contempt. Like, I just don't get it. I don't understand why you can't de-escalate. Why can't you de-escalate, let it go? Are you not strong enough? Are you that weak of a person to the point of where you just can't walk away from all of this and do the right thing for once to save your own ass? I just don't get that. Why are you incapable of walking away? Are you capable of walking away? Are you man enough to walk away? I'm just asking you, are you man enough to walk away? Are you, or are you not? Give me a second, I'll be right back. Give me a second. I gotta check. Let me check my email, folks. I'll be right back. I gotta check my email because he's still actually up on YouTube. All right, we are back live. We are back live. I'm just gonna walk down the street a little bit more because put a one in the chat if you can hear me and see me. The show's gonna start in a few minutes here, and they're gonna be playing some copyrighted music. So even though there's incidental mobile coverage, which it probably may not affect me, I don't take any chances. TS has won. Yeah, I went to the defendant's channel. He was still rebroadcasting, and he took down a second stream, and I got a screen recorded capture of it. Like, this guy just doesn't get the amount of evidence I'm gonna just show the court. Like, I don't get it, ODN. I don't get it. Like, he thinks he's above the law. Like, he has. Put a one in the chat if you feel the defendant has a reckless disregard for the law, because, like, honestly, there's not much more I can do than go to court. civil court, and now copyright court. There's not much more I can do, right? One, he puts, ODM puts a 1 in the chat. You know, there was somebody that said in this chat that I need to do better. Sir, if you're watching over here or on Rumble or wherever you're at right now, what can I do better at? What am I doing wrong, sir? I'm being massively violated. Are you in a good enough place emotionally to comprehend or mentally to comprehend that I'm being wronged here? Why would you say that I can do better? I'm doing just fine. I'm standing up for my rights. I'm standing up for my name and the name that's been tarnished by this guy and his group for years. I'm tired of that. I'm going to keep fighting it every day until he stops or until the court stops it. We're going to keep going every day, probably twice a day, maybe 3 times a day. And when he finally gets the clue, then we can resume regular programming. In the meantime, we're going to continue to correct the record, whether you like it or not. I will not be exploited commercially anymore, no matter what he tries to lead you to believe. Well, I haven't talked about him or I haven't streamed him or anything like that in weeks or in months. You still talked about me. You've still commented about me. Community posts, comments. You've been in other people's streams talking about me, talking about the judge, the judicial assistant, and all that. Come on. You've never stopped. ODN, do you agree he's never stopped? Even when he wasn't rebroadcasting me. He never, ever, ever stopped. And I have all the screenshots, man. Do you want me to do a stream and prove to you? I'll show you all the screenshots. I've got literally in the last 3 months since the case, and even a little before that, I've got over 2,000 screenshots between him and the other Florida lady and all the comments and all that. You want to see evidence, sir? You haven't seen anything yet. I preserve everything, and I can do it really quickly from my laptop or my phone or both, right? You think that what I've filed so far is all I've got? Because I've got a hell of a lot more. It's just you're a very overwhelming guy. And my God, I could sit there and literally file for the rest of my life the stuff this guy's doing. Let alone do a documentary. It'll never end. Like, it'll be just a lifetime series. Like, well, that sounds like the channel Lifetime, right? What I meant by lifetime is this will be a series that lasts a lifetime. It'll never end because this guy never stops. He's not going to stop until he kicks the bucket. I mean, he's just not going to stop. It's just, oh my God. Bottom line, he's obsessed with you, dude. He watches every stream you make, dude. TSS 111. Yeah, I mean, obviously there's some obsessive compulsive behavior there. There's something going on to the point of where he just can't stop. He's never stopped. He only stops when he has other things temporarily that are making him money or something to do, in my opinion. That's what he's done before. But he always comes back to me. He always comes back to me when the well eventually runs dry on anything else he does, in my opinion. Right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Give me a second. I'll be right back. All right, we are back live. We are back live. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me and see me. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me and see me. I'm going to walk down here one more time and then come back. And I'm going to go off the air before I get back to the lot because I think they're already starting the show. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me, please. So he has over 60 people on Rumble. Right? I was screen recording it. I'm getting screenshots of everything while it's live. And if he doesn't keep the replay up on Rumble, I have evidence that it exists. I have evidence this stream existed and he was rebroadcasting, and then we will request a production of evidence from the court, and that'll be brought up. Now, yeah, he has to keep it up, or he knows. Or he knows it's just not going to look good. But anyway, Gloria, you were talking in the defendant's chat, and you were saying, how much time do I think I'm going to get in court? We have a 1 hour hearing. We set 1 hour hearings. Half an hour for me, half an hour for the defendant. What's the problem, Gloria? Do you think I don't know what I'm doing? Or are you just still upset about the days in the past where I said some things to defend myself? You were coming at me. Lots of you were coming at me. You still haven't gotten over that. So now you want to just sit there and say, how much time does Eli think he's going to have in court? 30 minutes for me, 30 minutes for him. In the other spoliation hearing, 15 minutes for him, 15 minutes for me. Does that answer your question, Gloria? And by the way, Gloria, you said I'm talking about the defendant's parents. He's a public figure. I'm not being defamatory. I'm just saying I feel bad for his parents that have to deal with this behavior. I mean, what's wrong with that? Do you think, Gloria, that this behavior is normal? And don't come back at me and try to say that my behavior is not normal. All I'm doing is correcting the record. I'm taking a walk at the park, and I'm just correcting the record. Do you think, Gloria, that this guy rebroadcasting me as I'm live is right? It's content theft. You're going to see, Gloria, this year in a federal copyright case. You're all going to find out the reality that these watch parties are not fair use. You're going to find out. You're going to find out. Does it answer your question, Gloria? Anything else? I'm not going back over there. I can go back there if I want. I can go back and forth. It's a free country. That's not going to affect my case. I have the right to respond to what I want to respond as long as it's done properly and professionally, and that's all I've done. I'm not using his content. I'm not defaming anyone. I'm not harassing anyone. I am correcting the record. Any final questions here before we go? Yep, it looks like we're going to be doing this every single day until he stops, right? I have no control over that. He keeps deleting his YouTube streams, right? Maybe YouTube will catch a pattern of that and just remove him. You never know, right? It's suspicious activity to do 2-3 deletions while live every day. It's obvious. You know, it's an obvious, what do you call it? He's trying to avoid accountability. He's circumventing the copyright system, right? He's circumventing from being held accountable. Like, seriously, Gloria and the rest of you in that chat, do you really think that the defendant's behavior is normal? Honestly, if you do, then I have to ask you, are you normal? This is not normal. This is not normal, and grown adults don't behave this way, Gloria, or anyone else in that chat. They just don't. They absolutely don't. Great quote, Dawn. Where did Dawn put her quote at? Walk away while you're ahead. Destruction never asks for permission. Have a safe Saturday night. Yeah, tomorrow we got the podcast. Tomorrow we're going to be recording our New Year's Eve special. I got to go because the music is already on over there and I don't want to get too close. ODN says, I think they get excited by watching him tease people. I think, okay, so are the rest of the people in the audience. You think that you think they've got like demons in them or something like that, huh? Yeah, maybe so. All right, everyone, I got to go. Have a good one. Take care. And as always, be good to each other. See you all. We're leaving with 28 in the box. Wow, even with his audience there, we still have almost 30 people here. All right. Good night. Thank you, Tia. See you all tomorrow. Good night, everyone. Hopefully from the trail tomorrow. Possibly.